What's going on, beautiful people of YouTube? It's Renebean. Welcome to another episode of Life of a Game Hunter / Collector. I'm a little bit nervous about this episode, guys. I got this game sent in on a trade. It's not for me. What the trade was is he wanted me to resurface this disc, attempt to repair it, and in exchange I got a few games from him. Nothing crazy. It was more what he offered for this service. So anyways, guys, what makes this dangerous is I've told him a few times now. I asked him twice. I was like, listen, no matter what machine you're using, if you resurface a disc, there's always that potential you're going to ruin the game. He says it glitches, it doesn't play properly. I told him, I was like, well, we're going to play it. If the game is unplayable, then there's nothing that we can lose by trying it. So we're going to check that out. It looks like it's been resurfaced before by something, so we're going to give it a shot. And then a subscriber wanted to see a variety of the tools that I use out there, so it'll be more of a lighthearted episode. You'll get to see some of the things that I get to use in the shop, as well as this beauty right here. Hopefully we can get that going on. I'm going to go ahead and announce the winner to the last episode giveaway. That winner is the Zan Man with 2 Z's right there. You got a chance to pick out one of these Pokemon gym badges. Just hit me up on Instagram. For everybody else out there, just be subscribed, hit the thumbs up, and leave a comment down below. Anyways, guys, let's get the tripod in here and let's play this game and see if it really is in need of a resurface. Alright guys, so I got this playing on a PlayStation 2. I don't have a PS1 in here to test it on that, which is kind of what I wanted to do with it, but it's going to be alright with the PS2. So anyways, man, I'm nervous about the game. I really want this game to work for him. This is obviously a very high-end Castlevania game. A fantastic game if you've never played it. I mean, this is one of my top favorites of all time. But the problems that I see, not only has it been resurfaced, but there is a crack on the inner ring, and I don't know if it's gotten into the data yet, but we're going to see. We're just going to see what happens. Let's see. He says it glitches pretty early on. It jumps, it skips. Let's see, I don't have my memory card. I don't have the memory card in there at all from when I beat this. Let's see here. Yeah, new game. We're going to be the A's. The classic hurry up so I can test this game name right there. Alright, I'm going to let the movie play a little bit just to see if it's skipping through the intro. And that's usually a telltale sign that something needs to be resurfaced. It'll jump, it'll skip real bad. And I know my camera quality, you probably can't see it that well with the phone. It's doing that, you know, that black screen kind of thing. But that's not the game, that's just the crappy quality of the phone. I'm not seeing any skipping here. See if I can adjust this camera to make it a little bit better where it won't do that, maybe? I don't know. That seems to be doing the trick right there.
What is a man? A miserable little pile of...
Oh, that part gets me every time. You guys will see some jumps. I mean, I'm not going to show you nothing you don't need to see. If the game's playing fine, I'm going to hopefully... Well, I ain't going to say not hopefully. I'm going to jump to where you can see the game actually messing up if it does. Oh, damn, I got to remember exactly. It's been a while. I got to jump his flames perfectly. Alright. Hell yeah. So far, guys, I'm not seeing anything that shows me this game needs to be resurfaced. It's playing fine now, but I do believe he said when it gets up to the Alucard part, once you get stripped of all your powers and all that, it starts to mess up. It's what we're looking to see here. Alright, so we're playing it. We're Alucard here. We're pretty powerful. Gosh, such an amazing game.
What is your business here?
I've come to put an end to this.
Still befriending mortals. I'll not ask you to return to our side, but I demand you cease your attack.
I will not.
shall regret those words. We will meet again. What?
Now another potential, maybe he is playing this on a PS1, maybe the PS2's got a stronger laser, I'm not too sure, maybe it reads data further in. I'm not seeing a reason to risk damaging this game. Like, that's the thing, if it's working now, which it is for me resurfacing it, the only thing that could potentially do is make the game inoperable, or make it worse. And I hope that makes sense to you guys out there. Like, this is such a game, and I'm not having any issues. And he said that it would happen early on, and we've played already 15 minutes. And I've yet to see an issue. Alright, well, guys, with that said, I said we go out to the shop. I'm going to send him a message, and he'll see the video. He'll see that I've tested this thing as far as I can. You know, like, it would be messing up now if it was unplayable. And he said it happened a little earlier on, too, anyways, so I didn't see that. Maybe it's his PlayStation causing the issues. Maybe his lens is dirty. It doesn't want to read as well. I do got a lens cleaner I can send to him with this. That way he doesn't feel like he got nothing out of it. But hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying. I don't want to resurface a game that obviously doesn't need it. The game is playing now. It does have scratches and it doesn't look pristine. But me resurfacing the game, especially if it's already been resurfaced before, could ruin the game. It could damage it 100%. So hopefully you guys agree on that. So let's get out to the shop, and I'm going to go over some of the things that I use almost every other day. So let's get out there and check it out. Alright guys, so here in the shop, like I said, you know, a lot of people ask questions. What tools do I use? What is that? What is this? Where do you get this? Hopefully I can go over just about everything. You know, I don't want it to be too nitpicky. You know, I don't want to show you, you know, the most useless of items if I don't use it that much. Just the things that I use all the time are things that are very important if you do, you know, work like this. So my number one tool right here, this is my go-to. Now listen, you're going to hear like some rustling in the background. I don't know what the hell that is. The wind's going crazy out there. Maybe it's some tree trying to break in. I have no idea. But this one right here, this is the Hammerhead electric screwdriver, and my God, is this thing not amazing. This thing cost me brand new in the store a whopping like $18. It came with a few hex heads with it, but they were the bigger the bigger versions that you just can't really do much with. They're good for some things. You know, it came with heads like that, but dear Lord, this tree's trying to kill me. I had to order online a few hex heads that were long and skinny. That's the ones that you want. That way you can work on smaller things, you know, get into Game Gear screws and whatnot. So I'd say altogether I spent maybe like $22 on this, because ordering like 2 or 3 bits probably was like $3 free shipping. This thing is a lifesaver right here. You charge it with a simple USB that you would use for like your phone, and I'm telling you, it's a magical device right here. It's made for electrical. It's got a wire stripper. It's got a wire twist here. I mean, it's even got a ground or a hot checker too, believe it or not. But I like I said, I use this thing every day I'm out here in the shop. I got this at Lowe's. I don't think you can get these anymore at Lowe's. I went there and I think they recalled them from them, but you can still order these from Amazon, and hell, they may even be cheaper. So anyways, the Hammerhead electric screwdriver, I can't stress that enough. I keep a little bowl over here full of my go-to bits. If you work on games, you need to order these. Order them in a quarter-inch hex, but you need your security bits. I can't remember the size, like 3.8, maybe like a 4.2 or something. If you type in game bits, get the long ones. That way, if you ever find yourself working on like a Virtual Boy, you'll have it ready. That's my go-to right there. All right. Another thing that everybody asks about, and it's this thing right here. I nickname it the Pocket Rocket. Obviously, it's this little rocket fit in your pocket. Not the sexual kind. But this little thing right here, when I got this one, these things were nowhere to be found. It took me so long to figure out how to look this thing up, because I've seen one before. But now, I guess people tried to take over the markets and everybody flooded each other. You can order these things on eBay for like $2 or $3, and they're excellent. If I don't want to use my compressor, if I just want to do a quick blast right here, I can. It doesn't leak. I haven't had any issues with it. And like I said, $2 or $3 of free shipping. If you think I'm kidding, go to eBay, type in hand-powered blower, and then like search from low to high, and you'll see USA sellers selling these things for dirt cheap, guys. A very, very good tool if you don't have an air compressor. All right. Next up, we'll talk. I can't not mention this, guys. This is the ultimate right here. This is Bright Boy. I learned about this stuff watching one of John Riggs' episode. He didn't give this stuff enough praise, man. This stuff is revolutionary. I bought this whole bottle, which is going to be like a lifetime supply, or at least like a few years supply, because I mean you don't need a lot. $20 free shipping when I got mine. I don't know if it's up or less. People, you are all welcome to leave links in the description. The cheapest price out there. Everybody help each other out. And one thing that I ordered to accompany Bright Boy is wooden Q-tips. I order these from China on eBay, and I pay for 400 Q-tips. I think I paid 98 cents free shipping. I'm not kidding about that. I don't know if that guy's still around. I ended up ordering a bunch of bulk through them. But you can still get them for $1 or $2 for 400 or 500. I prefer the wooden ones because they have just a little bit more strength. So when you're wiping, it's not going to automatically bend. They can still snap, but they're just a little bit stronger. And they kind of work out to be cheaper than buying them in the store. So that's a go-to with that. Working in a shop, working with electrical, one thing that's very important, if you deal with a lot of wires, is a pair of wire strippers. These are more the fancy kind right here. You can have simple ones where you just grab, they look like pliers, you grab it and stretch it. I love these things. I'll give you a prime example why. So let's say you got your wire right here. I mean, it is as simple as sticking it in there. How much wire do you want exposed? You grab, and it does, oh, what? Hold on a sec. And it does the work for you. Absolutely amazing little invention right here. This thing, I bought mine maybe like $6 or $7 at a local hardware store. Absolutely essential if you do this work. I don't have to use this that much because a lot of things don't involve me wiring, but you have seen me use this quite often. Another thing that I use in the shop that I find myself, if I don't have it, it's a pain. And this was actually sent in, and you're going to hear a few things that have been sent in. I said in one video that I was out of heat shrink, and next thing you know, some arrived at the door. Heat shrink is it's essential whenever you're working with wiring. When you put two wires together, you slide that over, use a lighter and heat it up. It makes a proper. It's how it's supposed to be done. You don't risk shorting anything out or wires. Oh, damn mosquitoes. Wires touching. These things are not expensive. You can get like a set like this. I don't know, maybe $5 or $10. But I don't have to use that much. Speaking of sets, I got a X-Acto set right here. And X-Acto, I believe, is a brand. It's like people who say, let me get a Kleenex and they just want a napkin. This one right here, all this is a fancy pin that you can put razor blades into. Whenever I'm working on things like Game Boys, I carve out, like Game Boy Advance mods, you got to carve out the sides. And they're just very good for sharp cuts that require precision. That's what this thing's about. I bought this one for like $5. I got quite a few razor blades to choose from. It came with some what the hell are they called? Tweezers. But I actually got some tweezers up here that I use. They're the angled tweezers. These things work great. This actually came from that set, but I was like, oh hell, I need these more often than that. The case broke on this, but it was so cheap it doesn't really matter. I'll use this thing sporadically. Some sort of spider coming to investigate. I don't use spiders that much, but when I do, boy, they work great. Go on, you little bastard. Here, go that way. Go, God on me, man. God almighty. Alright, guys, spiders aside. Oh, my goodness. I'm already getting attacked. Alright. I got a feeling that spider's going to bite my ass. Turn into spider bean. All right, let's see here. Goo Gone is one of those things that I'll say a lot essential. Doing this line of work. This is what you use to remove stickers, duct tape residue, any type of tape residue. Works very great. It smells delicious. Don't drink it. It does not taste as good as it looks. It's somewhat cheap. I think it's like $8 a bottle for something like this, but you don't use that much of it. This stuff works great for stickers. You just gotta have patience with it. I covered that stuff in videos multiple times. Let's see. Stuff like this. I get these things are dirt cheap. Microfiber cleaning cloths. I use this with my JFJ Easy Pro. It's all it is microfiber cloths. I try to keep some brand new because when they start to get dirty like this, you got to rub that on a disc and you're going to scratch it more than you're trying to heal it. And I probably got like 5 or 6 more bottles over there. I ended up buying these at a local hardware store for $2 or $3 a piece, and that was actually high. You can order them cheaper than that online, but it was just, it was quick and easy then and there. Moving back here, this was sent in. These are alcohol, pads right here. Great for doing quick clean work. You know, whenever you open up these consoles, they're usually disgusting as can be. This is a good go-to. It helps remove residue when you're using other chemicals. This stuff's nice. You could probably get something like this, maybe $10 or so, but it's heavy. I mean, that'll last you a long time. Let's see. All right, guys. Everybody has heard me talk about it before. The graffiti wipes. This was sent in. A lot of subscribers tried to do research. I think one person said you can buy them directly from the company, but it's like $38 a box or something. I have no idea. And then, of course, I've seen a lot of people send links to either imitations or the brand, but maybe like a lesser quality. I have no idea, guys. Go to Amazon. And that's the links that I saw. I think they make different brands of this stuff, and it's just industrial paint removing wipes. Someone left a comment because on my last video I was messing with that Shinobi removing that paint, and I was like, oh my god, it's removing paint. And someone left a comment like, well, yeah. I mean, that's what it's for. This stuff, this is amazing. Be very careful using this stuff. It can damage things. I mean, this is you got to be very not lenient with it, but you got to be careful, man. This stuff works amazing, but it is also very powerful. So that is a go-to right there. I've yet to come across something that does not clean. So that stuff's awesome. Another thing here that was sent in, I'm going to move to the side. I have not used these, actually. These are Kapow heavy-duty towels. It's what are they? I smell things. You shouldn't smell chemicals. Oh, that smells great. It's a cleaning towel. So, it says it contains, vitamin E and aloe. I need to start using these when I'm done in the shop. My hands will be disgusting afterwards. I'm going to start using those. So, I haven't used them much, but it's just probably more of my bad habits. Another thing here that I use, not quite often, but often enough, this is my magnifying headlamp right here. I actually don't have any batteries in there. I don't need them. I got the big halogen right here. What this does, this allows me to, look at something. If I'm looking at a circuit board or something that I can't see that well, hell, I'm getting old. My eyes suck worse, by the day. I put this on right here. It's got 3 levels of magnification, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see, 1, 2, 3 or 4. The thing's awesome. You can really zoom in quite well and see things that you couldn't see before. And this thing only cost me like $7. It's not fancy. That's what you're gonna find out with this shop. Nothing's fancy, but all this stuff works. And it gets the job done. Let's see. I'm unprepared with a video like this. I don't know exactly what to go through, what all you need to see. I'm just wanting to show you guys the things that I use, every day. We'll talk about my iron. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of hate for it because it's not a high-end iron. It's nothing crazy. My soldering iron, this one, what's the brand? It's cheap. It's a Soyay, S-O-A-I-Y. I got this on eBay in a kit for like $20. The only thing that I stress when you're getting an iron, if you're getting into soldering, make sure it's variable. You can control the temperature. This one, it's seen better days. I've actually had this for quite some time. It's starting to wear down. The temperature starts to fluctuate too much on it now. But it gets me through. This thing has made me so much money. It is insane. And everybody, they always say, is this a good iron? Is this a good iron? All it is a stick that gets hot. If you can control the temperature and if it's good enough quality, that's really what matters to me. I know people out there will disagree. They say, you got to get this one, you got to get this one. There'll be, temperature fluctuations. Guys, it's an iron. It just gets hot. It's to melt a solder. If it gets hot enough to where I can control it, to a good point, I'm happy. That damn spider, fuck off! Oh my god, guys. I should have known that thing wasn't dead. It was only transforming into its ultimate form. Alright, I'm crazy here, alright? Let me keep moving here. Before we get into the small tools, I got this right next to me here. And I do got some things scattered around, but I'm not going to go crazy getting them because I don't use them that often. This is a heat gun right here. And this thing is great for heating up boards. Sometimes you have like glob top nest games that need a good heating up. This thing will burn the hell out of anything you put it on, but it's good. You keep it at a distance and you're getting temperatures. Just think of it like a hairdryer on steroids. This was sent into, but these things aren't the craziest of price. You can get them, I want to say 10, 20 bucks maybe. This is something that I use. I've used it a few times now, which is nice. You know, it's never good to have a tool you're not going to use. That's one of the things. That's why I try to keep everything up here that I use for the most part. Some things I haven't gotten around to, but that's just kind of the way it goes for me. All right, so my tools, I got this rack up here that holds everything. It looks ugly. I put things up and down. It doesn't, no order because it constantly goes up and down. One thing I keep up here, this is with my soldering iron. This is a plunger for plunging solder. God almighty, I had a huge piece of solder right there that did not want to break through. Now it's working like it should. But yeah, this is what I use to plunge up soldering if I'm, you know, zapping it down and I got too much or I need to pull some off. Essential. You'll notice that there's a towel right here. The towel is for easy cleanup, and plus when I'm working on a console, I don't want it to get scratched up versus using the actual board. People used to get on my ass all the time for that, and I agree with it 100%. I can take this, I can flick it into the trash, clean everything off of it, and then I'll be good to go. Except for all these little soldering bits that might get stuck. Probably have to change out towels here soon. Alright, moving up into my tools. Another essential you gotta have, pair of needle nose. My fingers are not the most agile, and I need help sometimes holding capacitors, that sort of thing. They're great for capacitor work right here because those little bastards get hot now. Let's see, I keep a toothbrush up here, you know, randomly. This was a buddy of mine's crashed at the house. It was brand new in a package. I was like, well, he don't need that no more. So I use it out here for scrubbing up things, you know, just cleaning. Let's see, a simple knife. This is just a crappy little knife that I used to pry things with. Nothing, I don't need nothing fancy. Things that just work, things that I use all the time. Let's see, I got a lighter. That's for the shrink wrap, or the heat shrink. Another plunger. And then, of course, my various picks. Oh, Lord. I use these whenever I'm working on NES's. You know, I disable the lockout chip. I, you know, refurbish the pins. You can get a pick set for $3 or $4. I mean, they're common. You can get them anywhere. So that's definitely one thing that I use. And then I just got a variety of flatheads and Phillips up here of different sizing. Because sometimes this thing being as good as it is, it may not be the strongest to break a screw right at first, or if I want it to be a little bit tighter. Now, don't get me wrong, that thing is very, very strong for what it is, but sometimes, you know, especially with like an NES console, for whatever reason, the one bit that I have will not reach into the one corner of the NES. I actually have to use a Phillips for that one particular screw. And then I have, you know, your odds and ends, like a tri-wing right here. You got to have a tri-wing for, you know, working on Game Boys, that sort of thing. But that's really it. I can't really think of nothing too crazy. You know, I keep in the shop, I got, you know, sleeves for CDs. I keep batteries on hand. I keep my capacitors. One day we might do like an actual tour. And of course, everybody knows I got my air compressor over here. This is just the head of it. I got this attachment special right here. It's just an air blower, but I wanted one with a very nice needle on there. My air compressor, like I said, I got a porta cable. I think it's a 6-gallon. It's refurbished, but it only cost me $79 at the time, and I had a discount where I got 20% off that. Excellent deal. It's simple, and this thing, I mean, I could do this right here and blow all this stuff off the table. It wouldn't bother me at all. So that works well. I keep various amounts of sandpaper. I got my JFJ right here, which you guys don't need to worry about. I've done videos on that. This is just more of like my go-to tools, the things that people ask about and that they always want to see. I keep a double-ended female for the AV cables that plug into the back of this TV out right here. So every time that I plug a console up, I don't have to reach in the back. I can just plug this up right here. It makes it very easy. I actually had 2 of them, but one of the cables was bad, so I just used the one. It does well for me. And I really think that's it, guys. I keep some tester games up here. But as far as tools, my go-to, and of course, you got to talk about scissors. If you don't have scissors, you're messing up. But guys, that's it. I know it's kind of a weird episode. You know, we didn't have to repair the Castlevania. Hopefully, you guys understand that. And then all we really did was just talk about the tools that I use or the things that I use in the shop. But it's been requested, and I'm hoping this answers quite a few questions because I get that all the time, guys. I get these questions all the time. So hopefully that this will be good. And you know, like the solder I use, even I just use a simple flux solder right here with rosin core. I ordered this stuff. It's like $5-6 on eBay. I actually got a roll because this one was running out. Think of it much like welding. How welding has the flux welding has, you know, the chemical agent built in. This has flux, so you can actually, it'll splatter and burn the hell out of you. But it's good for doing the electrical that I do. So anyways, guys, that's all I got to talk about. Nothing else. Everything behind me in the shop is actual like shop stuff. You know, toolboxes, saws, that sort of thing. So hopefully y'all enjoyed this episode. And as always, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.